Welcome to my little tour diary. This is in Holyoke, Massachusetts, called The Blue Door. It was where my wife dropped me off because in our tour schedule, and this was where we were going to meet. And way back, I don't know if you can see my cursor. There's my stuff. It was a little bit rainy, a little bit gray. I was just kind of waiting around. There's my stuff. But this place, it turned out, had just an incredible fried eggplant sandwich. Holyoke, Massachusetts. There's Snowfall, the house dog. I didn't know Snowfall was so drooly when I took that video. This was at the rehearsal space, which was actually a performance space in Holyoke that is attached to a beautiful, amazing, wonderful school called Lighthouse, where they have 75 kids, 25 of whom are highly at-risk kids who absolutely would not make it in a standard public school, and then 50 kind of more general pop kind of kids who, simply don't give a damn about regular school. And they all mix into this beautiful population where they are given experiences of competency and joy and being part of a team. And they all graduate with full-on Massachusetts public school diplomas. And this performance space is part of that school. They get to participate in stuff there. And here's a panorama of one of the classrooms in this incredible place. It was a paper factory, a paper mill. They bought this building for $3 million after 10 years elsewhere, and it's just glorious, and I love this place. So here we are. The first stop of our tour was Springfield, Massachusetts, at the Big E, which is essentially a state fair. And you're looking at the view from the stage. Those yellow things are the benches where people sit. This was, I just finished setting up my drums. We're getting ready for a little bit of line check, a little sound check. The Average White Band had played not too long before us. And this is the glamour of the backstage area at the Big E. I brought this practice kit with me, and I was really glad to have it. But this, what you're seeing here, is pretty much what every backstage area is like at best, no matter where you're playing. So think about that next time you're at some rock and roll show. And there's Lisa Lowe's salad. It was as delicious as anything. Joe Quigley, on the first morning after our rehearsal, tested positive for COVID. Joe, the bassist. And we all were just like, yeah, well, if Lisa is willing to do it, let's just do the tour. Joe got his own rental car, and he drove from place to place. He did not come in the van with us or in Tim's car. He isolated. So it was a rough tour for him. We love you, Joe. He fucking did it. He put on a mask on stage, and he drove himself everywhere, and we finished the tour. That is what you call a set list. That was the set list for the Big E. You can tell because it's got that there. And the lines are where Lisa says stuff to the audience. There might be a nice story, like Before Truthfully. There's a funny story about how she came to write that song. And then Before Stay, we, got to acknowledge how special Stay has been to our career. And, stuff like that. Crunchy balls of goodness. This is, it's another glamour shot. This is what my hotel room looked like the next morning. Okay, so then we got to Bridgeport, Connecticut, and I'm just realizing how crazy this slideshow is. Like, this is just like John Feinberg's weird view of what touring is like. It has nothing to do with anything you might want to see, but this is what you get to see. So the Bridgeport venue it was a huge festival stage with just huge everything. We had to pass through a metal detector and a bomb sniffing dog to get to our trailer in the artist village. And it was just, everything was very highly technological and organized. There was a stage manager and about 6,000 crew. And this is, just one of the things you might see backstage that helps them keep the show running. James G is up on the towel game as of post time, but I don't know what the towel game is, but I just thought this was good. And this is what it looks like when you walk from behind into the performance space, the stage. Here on the lower left, what you see is monitor mixing desks, one for each act. The amount of cabling is really quite staggering. So many acts and so much equipment. And then over here you see, actually I think that turned out to be my drum set. I had come there to kind of figure out, okay, which are my rental drums so I can set them up. And when you are playing stuff like this, under most budgetary circumstances, you're not bringing your own stuff around. You're renting equipment in each venue. And so here was my rental kit for the day. This is after I set it up. It takes me about a half an hour to position and tune the drums and set up the cymbals the way I like them. Tuning takes a while. When you're lucky, as I was here, you get fairly fresh drum heads. Although kick drums are almost never fresh. They're all pretty beat up, like back at CBGB or whatever back in the day. Now this is a rotating stage, a platter stage they call it. Right here is the wall of monitors. So out on the other side of it where the audience is, that just looks like one huge screen, but it consists of many, many monitors in an array, very cleverly hooked up together. So anyway, while some band is out there in front playing, the next band is setting up their backline on the platter stage. That's what you're seeing here. And then, oh wait, that's my breakfast. And then the stage rotates the on-deck band into position, and the band that just played out of position, while the crew stands around smoking pot and touching stuff. Just another detail of like the kind of the stuff that makes up a show like this. Miles and miles of cabling and careful labeling and a lot of actually, really competent people doing technical work. This is still Bridgeport. Like the sheer complexity of everything. This is telling the people who work there, these are the bracelets and badges you're going to see, and here's what they mean. There's, some of them are allowed in this space, some of them are not. That's what that thing is all about. Another shot of, it's either, these are all monitor desks and stuff like that. Look, Fleet Foxes. Ooh, they were there. Here we are waiting to go on. So here we are set up facing away from the audience while the band before us is on. And we're just getting ready to be rotated like animatronic musicians into position. No, we're not there when it's rotating, but we were setting up and getting ready. It was so freaking windy. It was so windy. And there was terrible feedback for the first two songs, and all through the poor Lisa. I have no hair to get in my face. All through the performance, there was terrible like resonances on the stage because they couldn't fly the speaker rig like you're supposed to be able to, and so it was resting on the stage, and everything was vibrating terribly. I look like I'm about 80 years old and completely out of breath. It's very flattering. So that's that huge array of screens that we were seeing from behind before. Super cool. That's my family. It's my son Jonah and my wife Catherine and my brother Joshua and me, the 80-year-old out of breath drummer. This is us laughing. I don't know at what, but probably like the wind blowing an entire column of speakers into a screaming village. Okay, here we are in Ocean City, Maryland. This was my drum set in Ocean City, Maryland. It was a spectacular drum set. These were CNC drums with brand new heads, and this was a Ludwig Black Beauty. It was just an incredible rental kit. None of this means anything to most of you, I know, but just trust me here. It's really nice to get stuff like this. Now, unlike Bridgeport, the Ocean City gig was like super relaxed. Not a lot of structure or process, just a lot of people, doing good work. No one was in a terrible hurry, but everything got done right when it was supposed to. When it was time for us to go on, I don't think that there was a stage manager around. We were just like, I guess we'll go on now. But everything was run very professionally. The sound was great. And man, it was a happy crowd. That was my favorite show of the tour. And I was really sad when we hit our last note. There's Lisa on stage with a chef and an actor. I'm told he's the guy from American Pie, and they were doing a bit making bananas Foster. Yeah, Lisa is amazing. At everything, but in a situation like that, she's really funny and relaxed, and a pleasure to see. Here we are performing some rock music. Yeah. The sound was real good. Okay, and this actually is my single favorite shot from the tour. Lisa is performing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star for this girl right here, Naomi. I believe her parents had sent her some fan email and saying, hey, our daughter Naomi's going to be there, and she loves your performance of Twinkle, Twinkle from such and such a record. And Lisa saw them in the crowd. I don't even understand what happened, but she knew they were there, and she saw them, and she stopped in the middle of whatever she was doing or saying and performed Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star for this girl. And the whole crowd was so happy and so sweet. Like, look at all these happy faces. So that's my favorite memory of the whole tour. Lisa Loeb, thank you for just a beautiful few days of life experience and fun and music. There were many times over the course of those 3 days where I really felt like I was making music on stage, not just kind of performing on a festival stage, anything by rote or getting through anything. I really felt like I was making music, and that was, it's a great life experience. I'm very grateful.